Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer come out and say, no, we're against UBI. Even Trump is in favor of UBI. He's calling for UBI. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are coming out and going, nope, we don't like it. We should probably means test it. Oh, sweet gee. We have a crisis on our hands. You do understand, by April 1st, people cannot pay their bills. You have to act now. You have to get the checks out now.
Brett accurately called me out specifically, like during a break, about how, yeah, look, Democrats aren't really offering as much as they should, but don't be mistaken about Republicans and what they're doing. Because, you know, at that moment, there was a lot of strong talk coming from the likes of like Senator Mitt Romney about how like, let's get cash into the hands of Americans now. And that was the message from Republicans. And at the time, we were hearing about means testing from Democrats. And that was irritating, right? But don't get it twisted. Republicans certainly want means testing as well. And the way that they would apply it is even more cruel.
Here's what you're witnessing right now. All of a sudden, there's a crisis. Everybody's a socialist now. Everybody. The Democrats are even less so than the Republicans, although some of their ideas are good.
And so publicly, Republicans make it seem like they're coming from the left, like they're out-lefting Democrats. But in reality, you look at what they're proposing and it's garbage. So first of all, they certainly do prioritize businesses and industries before they even really consider what Americans need to get by and pay their bills through this process.
Trump would do a UBI. And I'm like, a UBI? That seems like to me, that's the biggest social program there could be. Socialism, the government just gives you a check for doing nothing? Yes. And I said, why would they do that, Dylan? He said, out of options. Out of options. So why doesn't capitalism save us? Why isn't Amazon and Microsoft and Apple and Wall Street, why aren't they saving us? Capitalism. Oh, they're not. They're all becoming socialists now. Of course they are.
Restaurants are saying that they need $325 billion in federal assistance. Boeing wants $60 billion. The travel industry has requested $250 billion, and manufacturers are seeking $1.4 trillion in loans to deal with the economic devastation. Now, I mentioned what they're asking for because, as I said, from what we're seeing from Republicans, they're really prioritizing these businesses. Senate Republicans unveiled legislation that included $58 billion in loans and loan guarantees for passenger airlines and cargo carriers, $150 billion for unspecified eligible businesses. And I wonder if Trump's going to get some of that money. I wouldn't be surprised.
Mar-a-Lago just shut down. He might want some.
Here's what Trump is proposing. This was from AP reporter Zeke Miller. He said he's got insight into a Treasury proposal from the Trump administration that they're going to deliver $500 billion in checks to millions of Americans, and the first round is coming in April 6th. And Trump institutes full-blown socialism. Full-blown socialism. It's funny. Some people are saying that's not socialism.
What is it?
I don't know what they think socialism.
People making more start getting less, but people making far less get even less. So individuals, where is it? Okay, so the payments would decrease for those making more than $75,000 with an income cap of $99,000 per individual or $198,000 for couples. The payments would also increase $500 for each child a person or couple has. However, taxpayers with little or no income tax liability, meaning people who make so little money that they don't pay federal taxes, but at least $2,500 of qualifying income would be eligible for only $600 or $1,200 for couples.
Millions of citizens are scared of socialism, are now praying for government aid. Millions of citizens scared of socialism are now praying for government aid. All these people are voting for Joe Biden are hoping the government bails them out. Joe Biden said he will veto Medicare for all. So Trump has really done this. There it is. That's it. It's going to happen. Trump is instituting full-blown socialism. Look at that. It's giving you free money just for free.
The direct deposits appear to be just a one-time payment rather than two payments as initially proposed by the White House. So the poor essentially get screwed over by this proposal. They're not actually doing two payments. They're doing a one-time thing. And the means testing is, it's stupid. People are desperate right now, and they, first of all, should offer far more in relief, and they shouldn't punish people living in poverty.
Trump ordered suspension of all evictions and home loan foreclosures.
Take that, Mnuchin.
Now, that is just for, it only applies to homeowners with mortgages insured by the Federal Housing Administration, the HUD agency said. Oh. So if you have a mortgage through the government, through HUD, Trump has put a moratorium on your foreclosures and evictions.
And one other thing to keep in mind, this doesn't offer any type of protection or any type of relief for the 11 million undocumented people in this country, right? Many of whom do work, many of whom do pay taxes.
Do you remember when Barack Obama did this after the crash? Remember he put a stop on all the foreclosures and evictions? Me neither. Me neither. Trump's more of a lefty than Barack Obama. Trump is out-lefting the left. Because we were in just as dire straits in 2009. People were ready for huge structural change. People were ready. Barack Obama did nothing. And he disbanded his movement, got rid of his mailing list, told everybody to stay home. And they went along and kicked 5.1 million families out of their houses. Trump is out-lefting fucking Barack Obama.
Trump just straight up lied about the type of protections that he would offer to people who could be unhoused as a result of this. The reality is, under the Department of Housing and Urban Development's plan, which was released Wednesday, foreclosures and evictions would stop for 60 days on single-family homes with loans through the Federal Housing Administration. That would apply to roughly 8 million units, according to HUD. Only FHA homes lived in for at least a year can be rented out. And by the way, that's compared with roughly 43 million households who rented in 2019, according to the US Census. So this is not anywhere near what we need to protect people during this time.
This is how he's handling the crisis. He's stopping foreclosures, giving everybody a UBI. Wow. Pelosi's big idea was that she's going to give 20% of the workforce sick leave. 20%.
Who's she going to pick?
It's crazy, man. The Democrats are such a calcified party. They can't even respond to this crisis. They're such a calcified, they're completely calcified. They're incapable of movement to help people. Incapable. The Republicans are more able to implement socialism than the Democrats are. Neoliberalism is a killer.